Hi everybody, welcome to our new weekly installment of Immigration Updates. We've decided that every Friday morning we will be doing just a short, maybe a 5-minute YouTube video, basically updating you on what's happened in the previous week in immigration matters. So welcome to our first installment. Today it's Friday, it's the 4th of March, and obviously what we'll be mainly talking about today is what is happening with regards to Canadian immigration and with regards to the situation in Ukraine. Okay, so I'm just going to update you on what the Canadian government has done so far and also what they're intending to do, okay, because there is a lot coming, but we are waiting still for quite a few details. Okay, so the first thing is of course, Immigration Canada will be urgently processing new and replacement passports and travel documents for citizens and permanent residents of Canada who are in the Ukraine, okay, so they can return at any time, including immediate family members. They will be prioritizing applications from people who currently live in Ukraine, so for PR, proof of citizenship, temporary residence, and citizenship grants for adoption. And they will be adding new ways to make sure that people can get answers from them as quickly as they can, because that is often an issue with immigration, let's be honest. And so what they're saying right now is that for anybody who has questions for themselves or for family members in Ukraine, send in a web form via Immigration Canada's website and make sure you put Ukraine 2022 in caps in the web form so they can make sure that inquiry will get prioritized. Okay. Now, what immigration have said is that they are going to be introducing what they call a Canada-Ukraine stream, okay, and so that they're going to be prioritizing applications and they're going to be introducing authorizations for emergency travel. And they are not limiting the applications, okay, there'll still be no cap on the applications that will be received or accepted, and they will have the intention to start welcoming as many Ukrainians as possible as soon as possible, okay. What the minister has discussed is that they will be issuing visitor visas, work permits, and study permits, okay, open work permits for Ukrainians coming. They're going to be waiving a lot of the requirements, and what they will be they will still be requiring biometrics though, okay, so that's obviously when you have to go and get your fingerprints and photo taken. These will still be required, but they are looking at really simplifying the process to allow people to get here as quickly as possible. Okay, now the visa application centers in Ukraine are currently closed, so people cannot go there anymore for biometrics, but they are preparing the VACs in other nearby countries so that people will still be able to go there and get their biometrics done so that their applications can be processed quickly. Now, details of these streams have not been released yet, so we are anxiously waiting on those to come through. So we do know the government is working as hard and as quickly as possible to get these introduced. So hopefully we'll get that information very quickly. Okay. So do keep your eye on Immigration Canada's website, because they are updating this as the information comes out. I mean, most of the information we got yesterday from a video statement by the immigration minister. So we are anxiously waiting to see what the actual details will be. One other point to mention is that they are going to be allowing Ukrainians, even if they've not had their vaccinations, to be able to travel to Canada, okay, or if they've had a vaccination that's not on the approved list. This will mean, of course, that the quarantine, people will still be subject to the quarantine period, so the 14 days. That's as per now. So again, everything is constantly changing, so we do need to wait and see what happens, okay. So again, always check with the Immigration Canada's website for the most up-to-date information. Speaking of traveling to Canada, as I'm sure you're aware, travel restrictions were eased recently, and so what this means is that as of February 28th, so as of last Monday, travelers to Canada obviously need to be vaccinated, but you no longer need to show a PCR test, okay, in order to enter Canada. You can now come into Canada with the antigen test, which is the it's where the one that it's the rapid test. Okay, so but it does need to be done either with a telehealth professional or with an appointment, so that you do have the printed and documented results from the specific organization. Okay, so you do need to have the official result with you, and so that has to be done the day before your flight. So that makes it a lot easier and a lot less expensive for people traveling back, okay, or traveling to Canada. Other changes that happened this week, of course, there was an express entry draw. Of course, it was still provincial nominees. The point threshold was 761, and 1,047 invitations were issued. Okay, so again, let's hope that soon they're going to restart with federal skilled worker, Canadian experience class. But for now, again, it was just applicants under the provincial nominee class that were selected. Another change that we saw recently, this was actually not this week, it was the week before, but the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program, okay, so the AINP, i.e. Alberta's provincial nominee program, actually changed their name. So they're now called the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program, or the AAIP. So they also launched 2 new programs to boost rural immigration. So they introduced what's called the Rural Renewal stream. So this will allow municipalities outside Calgary and Edmonton, metropolitan areas, so rural municipalities with fewer than 100,000 people, they can apply to become a designated community for immigrants. Okay. There's also the Rural Entrepreneur Stream. So this will let immigrants who want to start or buy a business, again in rural Alberta, visit the communities to assess their plans. Okay, so these are 2 new streams and a new program name for Alberta. So that's one big change for them. On our side over here, obviously we're in Quebec. So the Quebec government has announced that they will be investing $65 million to recruit and train about 1,000 nurses from Francophone countries to work in 7 regions. Again, more rural areas of the province where the nursing shortage is most acute. Okay, so that's ongoing, and so they are doing their own recruitment drive there. Okay, one important thing to mention too is that with and this is listed on the IRCC's page with regards to changes for Ukraine, or Ukraine updates, is that they are maintaining a temporary public policy that had been due to expire on February 28th with regards to being able to apply for a work or a study permit from within Canada if you have visitor status. Okay, so previously this was a temporary public policy that was introduced during COVID, which allowed people who were here as visitors to apply for a work permit from Canada. Which previously was not the case, and so they have now extended this for another year. Okay, so for all nationalities, this is not a Ukraine specific, but it is mentioned in the Ukraine updates. So it's important to note that that temporary public policy has been extended for another year. Okay, so I mean that's most of our updates for this week. So I hope you'll continue to join us. So we are planning on doing this every Friday. So please go ahead, like our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel. These will be 5 to 10 minute videos, very brief, to the point, just to be able to keep you updated on what's happened this week in Canadian immigration. Also, please go ahead, follow us, like us, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay, we're quite active on those, and on LinkedIn, of course, so you'll be able to see any updates there. Okay, thanks so much, everybody. I wish you a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.